up to you to determine what kind of choices you're going to make that's going to help you live the kind of life you want to live. Your mom and your dad aren't going to be there to help you make most of those choices. You're going to have to make those choices all on your own. So you guys have to decide what kind of person you want to be. What kind of life you want to live. Do you want to live a successful life, or do you want to live an unsuccessful life? It's up to you. Every adult that I've ever known in my entire life would agree that you want to live, it's better to live a successful life. Right? There are benefits of being successful in your life. What's a benefit to live? You know what a successful life would be? Be what? Well, being well off, that could be one part of being successful. Having a job, having a good job. Because you can have a job that you don't like, or you can have a job that you love. So you want to get the job you love. Having a family. Having children. Marrying the person that you want to marry. Marrying a good person. If you grow up and you find yourself a drug addict, addicted to methamphetamine and going to jail all the time, someone like me keeps coming over to your house and taking you to jail, do you think that a really good person would want to be married to you?
No. That's how some people change. They get a wife and their wife just totally changes them. She does drugs and stuff. He didn't, but then he started because he just wanted to marry her, you know?
Well, you mean change for the bad?
Yeah.
That's where a person could let their friendships change them for the bad. Nobody changes for the good, though, because of somebody else. Everybody changes for the good when they decide and determine in their heart that they're going to change for the good. So, there are benefits to living a successful life. We just heard some of them. You can marry the person you want to marry, have a beautiful family. You can live in the kind of house you want to live in. You could do the kind of job that you want to dedicate your life to doing. I love my job. I married the woman that I want to be with. I love my job very much. I live in a very beautiful house. I have a nice swimming pool. I get to vacation wherever I want to. Every year I can go wherever I want. I have a very good life. And I didn't just luck out and fall into this life and nobody gave me this life. I had to make a whole bunch of really good decisions that led me to this point. Alright, so if you make good decisions throughout your life, you live a good life. You can live a better life. On the other hand, when you make poor decisions, if I had decided early in my life to become a criminal, to become a drug addict, to become an alcoholic, whatever, all the bad things that we can think of, the characteristics that people have, would I be living the same life today?
No.
Would I be a police officer if I was a criminal?
No.
That's correct. If I went out and became addicted to, if I drank alcohol as a teenager, didn't pay attention in school, went out and did my own thing, did whatever I wanted to do because other kids thought that was the cool thing for me to do, with no regard for how it was going to affect me in my future, then I become addicted to drugs in a later life. I'm not going to get the job that I want to have because this is the job that I want. Now I'm going to jail. I'm in and out of jail throughout my 20s and 30s. Who's going to want to hire me then when I'm in my 40s to work in their company? You see what I'm saying? And it's those decisions that I made as a teenager and in my 20s that are going to determine what I'm doing in my 30s and 40s. I'm doing what I want today because of the decisions I made when I was in my teenage and my 20s. The bad. What are some examples of living an unsuccessful life?
Living in a small house in a bad neighborhood.
Yeah, that could be.
I'm not talking.
Living on the streets and you don't have a shade, you have no money.
Being homeless would be one of the worst situations you could find yourself in America today. Not having a job, which could definitely lead to homelessness. Living in a small house wouldn't necessarily in itself be a bad thing because you might want to live in a smaller house somewhere. And the neighborhood you choose to live in someday might not be what other people consider the best neighborhood. But it could be that you want something else and you can't get it. and you can't get it because you've made some bad choices and now no one wants to hire you. And you're going to live a less successful life. Poverty, we've discussed homelessness. Poverty in America is a horrible thing. We live in America, the land of opportunity. Do they still teach you in school about the opportunities in America today compared to other places in the world? You guys live in a country where we don't have a king. We don't have people determining what we're going to be when we grow up. We get to make that decision. We get to decide what we want to do when we grow up, as long as we have the aptitude to do it. So all of you, every one of you, if you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a police officer, a firefighter, whatever you want to be, no one's going to tell you, no, you can't be that. This is America. This is a free country. You can be that if you work towards it, if you make the right decisions. So you live in the land of opportunity, but again, the bad decisions take away our opportunities, lead to poverty, lead to jail, so forth and so on. I want to talk about some choices. I want to talk about the choices that you guys are going to have to make in the next 5 years that are going to determine what kind of a life that you're going to lead. And I'm talking about a choice that you make when you're 15 years old that may determine what you are doing when you are 25. Okay, and the first choice is, are you going to go to school? And are you going to pay attention when you're in school, and are you going to learn? Because if you don't go to school, if you don't pay attention when you're in school, and if you don't learn in school, you've limited your life tremendously. That's the number one thing. You've completely limited your opportunities in life. A good choice would be not using drugs or alcohol as a teenager. Your brains haven't fully developed yet. Your brains, because they haven't fully developed, are going to be very influenced by alcohol, very influenced by drugs, more so than when you're older even. The worst thing a 16 or 17-year-old young person can do is drink alcohol or put an illegal substance in their body. It goes right to their brain. It's not developed, it hurts them. You're more susceptible to becoming addicted to a substance when you're 17 than you will be when you're 27. Okay? It's very important not to put that stuff in your body when you're a teenager. Very important. Obviously not breaking the law. Once you start breaking the law and start going to jail and build a record, it's going to be a lot harder for you to live a successful life. You're always going to have people like me coming to your house and basically messing with you. You don't want that. You don't want the state of California coming to your house all the time because you're breaking the law. A great choice I see is if you have an opportunity to help somebody, take it. If you see a kid in your school being bullied, don't go along with the other kids that you might think are cool or whatever and bully that kid. Don't lower yourself to that. Help them. By doing that, by continuously helping people throughout your young life, you're going to grow up into the kind of person that helps other people. That's the kind of person that people want to be around. Those are the kind of people that people want to hire to work in their companies. People want helpful people. You have to develop the characteristics of helping others. You need to be able to do the right thing, even if it's not the easy thing to do at that time. Can you give me an example of doing the right thing at school? Well, could you keep it? Would that be the right thing to do? That's correct. It's not yours, right? That's just like stealing if you find someone's property and you don't return it to them. Yeah.
Take good classes, like say you want a certain period, you take good classes to lead that period.
I totally agree with that, yeah. And pay attention and learn in that class. Yeah, I totally agree. And this is a big one for young people. You guys are going to have to watch out who you hang around with. Even as an adult, I'm 54 years old. All right? I'm a grandpa. I still have to worry about or concern myself with who I hang around with. Because we are going to be judged by who we hang with, and we are going to become like who we hang with in some cases. You guys have got to hang around with people of good character. It's very important. Someone tell me why?
So you don't get influenced by that.
That's right, a bad peer pressure is so strong that a bad influences by our peers is going to affect us negatively, greatly. You won't even know it at the time.
Because if you hang out with bad people like boys, then you'll become a bully, and then they'll like you, and then you'll
I'm going to go with that one. That's,
So you won't be a leader.
that's correct. Well, that's a good idea. What is a characteristic of a good leader?
They show friendship, take care about a lot of people.
Helping people, being
like them help, they'll be compassionate, and do whatever they can, and not punishing.
correct. That's all. A good leader is someone that other people want to follow. So I'm a sergeant in my department, so I can look at a deputy that doesn't have stripes on his arms, and I can tell him what to do, and he has to go do it because the department told him he has to do it. I'm in the chain of command. I'm basically the boss, so I get to do that. But I don't want people to do what I tell them to do because I'm ordering them to do it. I want people to follow me into doing what we need to do. So a good leader gets people to follow him. You're good to people, kind to people, fair to people. You make good decisions. They trust you, and because they trust you, they're going to follow you. I have to get deputies to follow me into life and death situations sometimes. We go into dangerous situations where people have guns. So the deputies have to trust that wherever I'm taking them, that they're going to be safe. You see what I'm saying? That a characteristic of a good leader is treating people right, leading them by example. What's a bad choice?
Doing drugs.
Doing drugs is a terrible choice, especially when you're a teenager. Drinking is a terrible choice.
Influencing other people.
That's correct. Not only doing it, but getting other kids to go along with you, and it's affecting them negatively too.
Going to jail.
Going to jail. That's kind of a ramification of making bad choices. But doing things that are going to get you sent to jail, bad choice.
Being a bully.
Being a bully is a bad choice. You're going to grow up to be if you don't stop being a bully, you're going to grow up to be a not so nice a person. Oh, you did what you said? Yeah, don't use drugs or alcohol. Don't break the law. Don't bully or make fun of other people. Don't do what other people want you to do if you know it's wrong. Every single person in this classroom, in this camp, this is a leadership camp. You guys are supposed to be here because you have some kind of characteristic in you that would allow you to stand up when you need to, if you know it's the right thing to do. If I'm in a room with 50 people and 49 of them believe that I should use heroin, I have enough strength and fortitude to stand up and tell them, no, I'm not going to use heroin. Right? I'm not going to bully somebody because other people are bullying them, because I have the inner strength not to do that. You need to develop that. You need to develop that. All of you need to have that strength where you can stand up to other people when it's time. Do you have it? Do you have the ability to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. And we already talked about hanging around bad kids, kids that make bad decisions. Okay, before I go today, I just want to share with you guys 3 things that I use in my life every day, and that the successful people that I know that do the same thing. There's 3 things you can do every single day in your life. They're easy to do. They're simple. They're no-brainers. And if you do them, you're going to develop into the successful kind of person that can live a successful life. Number 1, learn at least one thing every day. You don't have to be in school to learn something. You can learn something up here. You can learn something on TV. You can learn something on the internet. Learn at least one thing every day. After a few years, you'll be smart. People that don't learn aren't smart. Number 2, help at least one person every single day. Help at least one person just help your mom do the dishes. Clear the table for her. Do whatever. Make your bed without being asked. Whatever's helpful. You develop the characteristics of helping other people. You become a kind, giving person. And number 3, have fun every day. Do at least one fun thing. By doing that, you're going to live a fun life. Really a no-brainer. Those are simple, anyone can do it. Fun without alcohol or drugs, too, by the way. That's right. Do they have time to ask me some questions, or anyone have any questions? You got a police officer here. Do you ever want to ask a police officer anything?
I scare police officers.
You're scared? I'm not scary. Yeah.
Are you like involved in a lot of drug paraphernalia?
Well, yeah, I've collected a lot of drugs. I've made a lot of drug-related arrests in my career. I've seen a lot of drug paraphernalia. Yes, and a lot of drugs. Huh?
For the Christmas tree, they did it.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Do you ever use your tasers?
Yes, I've
Tasers are scary.
yeah, I've tased 2 men and 1 dog, and it worked on all of them. Well, I tased the dog so I wouldn't have to shoot him. The only other choice would have been to shoot him. I did not know that. I am not surprised. I'm not surprised though. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I did, and I forgot to bring them. I'm sorry. I meant to bring some. I forgot. I was going to bring pencils too. Fought a bear?
Yes.
No, I would run from a bear. I would run from a bear.
I want to fight a bear.
What processes did you go through? Sergeant.
To become a deputy, number 1, you cannot have a criminal record, so don't break the law. Number 2, you have to finish high school, and you have to have a decent grades. After having done that, you just have to live a good life. So because there's extensive background checks in law enforcement when you come on as a law enforcement officer, and they're not going to hire anyone that they don't trust is going to live in the right kind of life. They even check my credit score. They check my credit record, that kind of stuff. You've got to live an upstanding life to be a police officer in California. No, I've never shot anyone.
What's the highest police officer?
Sheriff. No, you have to be elected for sheriff. I'm a sergeant.
So sergeant like makes up the sheriff?
Sarah, is that away from?
No, sergeants sergeants supervise substations. We supervise work units. This is all I want to do. I don't want to go up anymore because where I work right now, I get to work with the guys, the deputies that are doing the job. And this is I'm doing what I want to do. If I promoted one more time, I'd work in an office down at headquarters. I don't want to do that. I don't even know right now what it is, but it's good.
Did you have to go to boot camp?
No, well, yeah, we have a police academy. Now it's kind of like a boot camp. It's not a boot camp like the Army, though, or like the military.
Do you have any past records for like to go to double cups, young Marines?
No, you don't have to do that, but it's good for you, though. It's good, and it'll train you. If you do that now, it'll train you to be a cop later on in life. Any more? Okay, guys, thank you very much for listening and paying attention. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Sergeant Brown.
Remember, your future's up to you. Thank you.
So everyone, let's get 2 big claps and a love on 2 for Sergeant Brown. 1 and 2.
Yeah. Love.